So do you want to tell us a little bit about this business you're starting up, Brian?
Well, I'm starting a business right now with a gentleman on the island here. Now, I don't know if it's a gentleman, Ross McDonald, who's a local guy.
That's a loose term, yeah.
It's called Appleseed Energy, and it is a business that is going to be putting in residential windmills, solar systems, off-grid systems for people, farms and stuff, and businesses and houses. And there's lots of wind around here, and I think that'd be a good thing to use it. So we're going to try to do that. So.
Right. And of course you maintain, you help maintain the yard and stuff. So whose baby's the fish pond?
Oh, it's not much. That's nothing.
The
fish pond's no maintenance.
That's like,
We just put that in because we had extra concrete when we poured the floor, and so we had a hole dug and we just put it in there because we figured they always have extra with a load, so we had to have some place to use it or it'd be dumped.
And since then we found out that we don't even need concrete. The ground here is like concrete. It holds water amazingly well. So we have another one, like a couple of different other little ponds around, and they just they don't have any liner or anything. It's just they just
you dig a hole and you have a pond.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
And as long as you have we don't have filters or anything, but as long as you have supposedly the right balance of fish and plants, it keeps the water really clean and healthy.
So what kind of fish are they?
They're goldfish.
So we just bought us some goldfish from Walmart or something. I don't know. It was from a pet store in Truro, and we brought them back, and we got like 20 of them, and I think about 3 or 4 of them made it back all the way from Truro to here alive, and they were sitting.
Because they were on their way to the airport.
And we threw them in there, and then the next year we had more, and the next year we had more, and then we took some out and put them in the other pond, and next year we had more. And every year, I'm sure that the pond freezes all the way through. I mean, it's not that deep, so.
So they don't die?
No.
No, I think they go into cryogenic suspension, which is I mean it's like freezing. They actually freeze and then come back to life when it thaws. I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure because the pond is it's probably not 3 feet deep in the middle.
No,
and I'm sure.
And it's got mud and stuff in the bottom now.
It's frozen.
So they might get down in the mud. I don't even know what they do. I've never been down there in the wintertime. So.
So what do you do for plants? Did you buy plants or are they?
I think the very first thing we did, because I want big fast, so you just get a wildflower seed and put way more than it says to put in a small area, and then you just have a lot of plants, and then you start moving them around, and then some things come on their own, and some things it's pretty much perennials. For the most part, it's all perennials, and a lot of wildflowers, and
Actually, what it is, it's a bee garden. That's what we decided to call it, because if there's any weeds in there that we don't pull because the bees like them, because there's some stuff out there that some people would consider weeds, but the bees love it, and so we really hate to take it out.
We have honeybees too. It's one of our other animals I forgot to talk about.
You harvest Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I think they kind of have a hard time around here because it's kind of a damp spring, which is when their honey their stores kind of run out, and it's cold and foggy sometimes, and they don't really get out. So anything that they like, they get to keep. We don't weed it out or whatever if they're on it. So
what happens if there's wild bees in the area?
There's no wild bees.
There's no wild honeybees.
No, but regular bees.
Regular bees is fine. They don't.
They don't get into wars or anything like that.
No, there's
wars now.
No, okay.
No, they do good. They don't have the mite. Well, this is a whole other story. We don't really need to get into it. But Cape Breton is one of the only places in the world that doesn't have the mite that affects the bees, that kills them every year. So these bees don't have the mite, and so we were kind of we don't really want the mite to get over here. And there's an association in Cape Breton that is there for that, to that effect, essentially. So so we don't have to treat them with any chemicals or anything like that. They can live through the winter on their own.
Nowhere in the world.
Yeah, no. Every place else in the world they would die guaranteed in the wintertime if you didn't treat them. So.
Wow. So you keep your bees from year to year?
Yes.
Yes,
and you harvest the honey every fall.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have one hive now, which I would like to get another hive because it's you really need two. I mean, you really need one to kind of observe, to keep both to see the differences and that kind of thing. And so we have one hive left now, but this has been this has been the 4th year, or we've had them for 3 or 4 years. So and they've lived. So. And
one year, we left and we came back, and we left for 2 weeks or something to go back to Indiana. I think we came back, and the hive, instead of being upright, was on its side. And that exposes the whole bottom of the hive to the cold weather and all that in the wintertime. And so we put it back up, and I don't remember if that one died. Yeah,
it wasn't dead in the spring. It wasn't
bees,
dead, but I mean it didn't.
It wasn't strong enough to continue and make it through the year. So
they didn't all die, but they did die eventually. So it was.
But that's from the wind. It's very windy.
Yeah. So did you guys have a lot of farm knowledge and
agriculture?
Yes, knowledge coming in here, or is this all stuff you're learning as you're going?
Well, we learn stuff as we go, no doubt.
Right.
But we did have a farm, which we learned as we went there too. We had an organic farm in Indiana, so
reading books and
and we had it for 5 years or something like that, and we sold vegetables. And but up here it's completely different.
Yeah.
Like the growing season and the soil conditions and the you know, just the wind. The wind is the main thing.
Changes everything.
Because anything that grows tall, you know, it would go over. Like all the trees you can see, all the fruit trees, they all seem to lean that way. Well, there's a reason for that, you know.
Yeah.
So, and you know, it's different. But we did learn it before we came here, some of it. So, and we had animals before too and stuff like that.
So, why the boxes, Gina?
The reason why we put the boxes in this year is because we found that like our soils, when we get a rainstorm or whatever, it tends to wash down the hill because everything is it's pretty slopey. So we like put the boxes in to kind of keep the soil, to raise the bed also so it has good drainage, but also to keep our soil from washing down the the hill or whatever. And we had to put this chicken wire over because our cat was digging it, and so we're hoping that that'll keep it out for a while.
So what do you have here?
This bed is going to be greens. It's like different kind of lettuce and spinach. We like to plant the lettuce like a few times, like plant it like once a month or so, so we kind of have a continuous crop. And then peas are the next bed. Then there's a couple of boxes of lavender or herbs, and then carrots, radishes, and onions in the last box.
And then you have a nice strawberry patch.
Yes, we have a strawberry patch here, and some more herbs, and then some different flowers and things. We have another veggie garden on the other side too. So,
what's that tree right there, the reddish one?
That's a crabapple tree.
Right, and I see what Brian means by the wind.
The lean, you can see all the trees are leaning like.
Most people stake them. To try to keep them upright, because once they get a certain size, they will stay upright. But
and I had the plum tree staked for 3 years, and then I took the things off, and then it leaned. It still did, but the soil is not that great, so I think when it got really rained hard, it was wet, and then the wind on top of it, so.
Right. What about these boxes over here?
These boxes are going to be potatoes this year, and we're going to try to do the growing in the eelgrass or growing in the kelp routine that everybody tells us people used to do.
That's right.
Really, to get topsoil for those it was like super expensive. So we thought we're just going to make our own dirt. Yep. We're going to grow our potatoes in there.
My father always plants potatoes in eelgrass.
Yeah. I mean, people always say that. So and
they're good potatoes.
In Indiana, people do it in straw, so it's the same thing. It's a mulch. It's a mulch technique anyway. So I think it'll work good.
So you have quite a bit of flowers mixed through too, eh?
Yes, and herbs too.
It's beautiful.
But it's really good. I mean, it's good for the bees, of course. It attracts beneficial insects that deal with the bad bugs.
Right.
And it attracts,
food supply for the bees you keep.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So it works out really well.
Nice.
There's like blueberry bushes mixed in and fruit trees mixed in. And
are they what they call the high bush blueberries?
Yes, they are. Yep.
Okay. Right. Very nice.
Yeah. Oh,
and it's so tidy and neat. And wow.
That's because we knew you were coming.
Oh, okay. So now we're heading down to the pottery barn?
Yeah.
Okay.